and welcome back to the cave. Today we've got our second episode, our second installment of this new series where we take odd, crazy, interesting, unthinkable items and see if we can make a bow out of them. And today we must ask the question about duct tape. Will it bow? I truly am grateful you're here, and let's just imagine for a minute that you have a bow and you're in the wilderness and it might be raining and you're lost, completely lost, and you're shooting your traditional bow and it pops a splinter on the back of the bow. And so you reach into your pocket and all you've got is a roll of duct tape. Will this fix the splinter on the back of your bow so that you can get the animal you need in order to survive the awful weather until rescue can come and find you? Will duct tape bow? Will it bow? That's what we're gonna figure out today. But first, we need to understand what bow backings are in order to know why this may or may not work. With any kind of bow you use, there's two main forces that are upon the bow. The first one's gonna be tension. Tension is on the back of the bow. So as you drop back and the bow bends, the fibers on the back of the bow wanna pull apart. So you want good material on the back that is good under tension. The belly of the bow is under compression. So as you drop back, the belly of the bow is under compression. So you want a good hard material that's not gonna stack upon each other under the force of compression. On this bow here, it's half bamboo and half ipe. Bamboo's great under the tension and ipe's great under compression. So these two pieces of wood work flawlessly together. So what we're gonna try to do is grab an Osage bow that has lifted a splinter. I built this bow almost 5 years ago on the floor of an apartment with a pocket knife and some hand tools, and it finally lifted a splinter this year. So we're gonna see if duct tape on the back of this bow will be enough of a backing in order to hold that splinter from rising any further. Pretend this is a bow. You got the back of the bow and the belly of the bow. The back, again, is under tension and the belly is gonna be under compression. But theoretically, there should be a spot right in the middle that's neutral. As this bow bends, there's two ways that are very common for a bow to break. The first one's gonna be on the back of the bow. You're gonna raise a splinter. And let me show you what that looks like. Pay attention to right in front of the arrow. This is what it looks like when a splinter rises. You can see how it's starting to rise. This is the bow we're gonna put the duct tape on to see if it'll hold that down. If I continue to draw this back, that's just gonna raise and then the bow's gonna split in half. And that's what can happen if you don't chase a growth ring well, like on this Osage bow I must not have, or that can also happen if your bow backing that you put on is not sufficient enough for the bow. The second one's gonna be on the belly of the bow. This is where the wood compresses and ultimately ending in bow failure. Here's the pallet wood tie bow we made in the last Willow bow series. And you can see because it's soft wood, you can see how the wood is trying to stack upon each other. Right there. This is what happens if your bow material's not good under the force of compression. So where that splinter is on the bow, what we're gonna try to do is bring it closer to the center here and add a bunch of duct tape on the back of the bow to move that splinter as close to center as possible so there's no force on it. With all of that said, let's put duct tape on the back of this Osage bow that has started to raise a splinter to see if it will bow. And let's do it in none other than Will It Bow fashion. Trimming this up right here will conclude 3 layers of duct tape. This may be a weird example, but have you guys ever had duct tape on a car window and then it heated up and you tried to peel it off and it's a mess? Or like even just duct tape on anything random that might have sat in the heat, like how impossible it is to pull it off? So I was thinking, what if I heat up this duct tape and that might create a bond and mold these 3 layers together, creating a strong enough backing to hold that splinter down? Maybe. I'm gonna try it because I think that'll give me the best opportunity possible, hopefully in order to save ourselves out in the woods. pulled the air bubbles out of the tape, making it completely smooth. I like that. Should we give this a shot? I'm kind of nervous about this. Hot! Don't touch the tip of a heat gun. Question, do I put a string and just draw it back, or should I put it on the tillering tree first? And what limb was the split in? I'm actually kind of nervous about this. Come on, don't crack. Okay, that's not to brace height. Twist the string up a little bit. It's working so far. I'm scared to... I don't know if I've ever been so scared to pull a bow back. Fascinating. It's working so far. Let's give it some shots. Okay, so I'm gonna take the first shot with this. I'm probably gonna short draw it and not get it all the way back to my 30-inch draw length at the beginning, but we'll give it a shot. And hopefully this doesn't splinter everywhere. Goodness gracious. That's so scary. All right, let's try to get a little further. Does that sound weird? All right, come on, Bo, hold up for me. Okay, I'm gonna time lapse this and shoot a bunch of shots and see if I can break it. Well, I'm not gonna try to break it, I'm just gonna shoot it normal. That's incredible. After 30 shots, no sign of any splinter rising. It's completely smooth all the way. That's pretty crazy. Now we know that you can survive in the woods with just a roll of duct tape and your bow that's splintered. It's doable, it works. I'm actually kind of surprised, but at the same time, kind of not. Duct tape seems like a ridiculous idea, but at the same time, you think about how sticky that stuff is, especially heating it up and melting basically those 3 pieces of duct tape down into one, right? A piece of duct tape, easy to rip. But what if you grab the piece of duct tape, the bow's not ripping it, the bow's trying to pull it apart, and that's probably, well, I just did it. So that's 1 piece of tape, but what about 3 pieces of tape? I guess it's not enough tension strength on the back of that bow to break the duct tape yet, that is. I only took, what did I say, 30 shots? Yeah, about 30 shots with the bow and it held up. So will duct tape bow? Yes, duct tape will bow. If I'm making a brand new bow from scratch, starting all over, would I put duct tape as the bow backing? No, I would not put duct tape as the bow backing. I'd much rather use fiberglass or bamboo or something that will probably be more durable. Okay, so I'm not gonna stop there with just shooting the bow 30 times. What I'm gonna do next is I've got my slow-mo camera on tripod. Boom, got the bow up here, and we're gonna break it. I'm gonna draw this back as far as we can, and we're gonna see how long it takes to break, if it'll break. Maybe it'll come all the way back to 30, 32 inches and not break. Maybe it'll shatter. We're gonna see how this one breaks. All right, that's as far as we've gone. Feels so wrong to draw past 30 inches, but let's do it. Whoa. What was that, 31? 32 inches! It didn't break at all with just duct tape on that crack. That's insane! That's 33 inches. You think that looks like a pretty far bend, right? It's only 27 inches. There's 28, 29, 31, 32, nothing. Holy moly. Okay, this is it. We're gonna break it. "35 inches. Oh my goodness. It's duct tape. Okay, so that's 36 inches on the draw length. Not a crack, nothing. This duct tape is actually blowing my mind. So I can draw it down to about 42 inches, so we're gonna go for it. And we're gonna break this thing. It's invincible. I can't break this duct tape bow. I literally can't break it. Call me crazy, but I have a new opinion about this duct tape. You've got to be kidding me. Check this out. I almost didn't do a torture chest, but then I was like, let's see if it'll break. So to my cheek is 30. I'm a pretty tall person and I have long arms. And so that right there is like 35. There was already a stinking crack in the back of this bow. There was literally a splinter coming up. I shot the bow and then the next time I drew it back, you hear, you're like, oh crap, you know, let's just trash it or put a bow backing on it. And I was like, you know, let's make a video, a duct tape video. Let's see if duct tape will work. Somebody out there is gonna make a duct tape bow like this. It's a great way to salvage a bow. Like literally, I can go shoot this a lot. I don't know how to make it look good, but as far as the material goes, I guess it makes sense. It just blows my mind that it's this good. I've heard people talk about duct tape, make fun of how duct tape would never work. And I was like, you know, I bet it, I mean, it's got to add support, but it'll probably break after shooting it a while. But I've literally held this for 15 or 20 seconds at a 40-inch draw length and nothing will give, nothing will break. And it's not a good bow already, like it already had a crack in it, and that's what blows my mind. Instead of a fiberglass tape bow backing, like that video I made, I should have just done a duct tape bow backing. Man, that's insane. That is insane. That's crazy, man. You never know the limits of a bow unless you try it. Should you go to KramerAmps.com? Yes, you should. Why? Because I sell bowstrings up there. If you need a bowstring for any one of your bows, if you make bows, I've got a tillering string for you. Also, I've got bows up there on the website either right now or if not right now, coming very soon. So you're gonna wanna stay around, subscribe so you can see that. Guys, I thank you for being here. I thank you. We have 1,000 subscribers now. It blows my mind. I know I don't have the most subscribers on YouTube, but I can guarantee you I've got the best ones. You guys are awesome. Talk to me, leave a comment below. Have a great day, smile, be awesome as you always are. And remember to stay positive. We'll see you guys later.